And the whole world is watching. What's going on, guys? My name is Zach. Welcome back to a brand new review, a spoiler review, in fact, for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode. What are we on now? We're on 4. We're on 4, and we got 2 episodes left to discuss. What an episode this one was. Now, I understand that a lot of people were kind of like on the iffy side of the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Some people were really digging it. Some people were kind of still waiting for something to happen. Overall, I've been digging it, but I'm still in that camp of let's get the story moving along. And the ending of this one definitely ended it in a place where I never thought I would ever see Captain America. Well, definitely not my Captain America. Captain America kills someone with the shield and smash his head in. Dear God, that is pretty violent for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But this is going to be a fun discussion, guys. If you guys are new here, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as well as comment down below and let me know your guys' thoughts. I want to hear your guys' theories, your comments, all sorts of things like that. That is why I stay up to do this, so that way we can have a great conversation throughout the entire weekend on the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Overall, this was, again, a solid episode. I'm still waiting for something to happen. Like, for me, this episode very much, again, didn't cement or move this story anywhere further than how long that I would want it to. But what it did was it did enough to, again, intrigue me more about the characters. This has very much become a character piece. We don't know who the power broker is. In general, we really don't know the ending or, in general, the entire structure of the show. Because when the show started, I was like, oh, it's going to be about who's getting the shield at the end. It's going to be Falcon's journey to get there. And it's definitely been a convoluted more than just that. And I think what this episode does is it gives us a little bit more of Walker, of course, and certain things that happen with him. Gives us stuff with Zemo. Gives us stuff with Bucky, especially Sam, and especially Carly now, who I'm still not fully on board with the Flag Smashers, but I feel like I'm starting to get a more idea of what she is after, which, let's start with the beginning episode. Let's start with Bucky overall, because last week it's ended with the Dora Milaje showing up from Wakanda, and the episode turns back up and starts back up in Wakanda, showing a great flashback to Bucky, and again, his relationship with Ayoy, which I thought that was really cool to see how they were able to bring that about and see how they were able to fundamentally add that into the story. I thought that was interesting. I'm a major fan of Black Panther. I'm a major fan of Wakanda, so this is just kind of a big feeling for me to see the Dora Milaje show up in this episode. But having that relationship thing with Bucky, I think really shows different elements with how he was going through, and in general, how much they truly did for him. We know how much they did on a surface level attempt, but now seeing this, you see that they did so much, and just that pain in Sebastian Stan's face when he sees that it's all over for him when she's reading the words was absolutely brilliant, and I really, really dug that whole entire sequence. Also moving off of there and also going into the other things with Bucky, that was a deeper layer that we got to see. His relationship telling her, like, look, like, Zemo is helping us stop this of what is going on, and, you know, she does make good points. In a sense, they probably could have gone to the Wakandans and asked for help, because they do have layers and outputs to every single moment, but of course, with that said, Sam, Bucky, and Zemo end up trying to find out, where is this funeral? Where is this going? This is how we can stop Carly. They end up going to this place. Zemo's the one holding that leverage. And, of course, freaking not my Captain America shows up, John Walker. Which, again, Wyatt Russell, I saw that he apparently deleted his social media over death threats. Guys, come on. He's doing a great job in the role. He's definitely not our Captain America, but Russell is absolutely killing it in this role. I think he's doing a really good job, and I'm really digging what they're doing with this character overall. But him and his friend Hoskins shows up. We're like, oh my God, here he comes to kind of ruin the party. But of course, they make it to the funeral. And pretty much Sam says, you gotta let me do this, man. Let me go in there and let me reason with her. And that conversation between Sam and Carly was one of the most humane things that I think we've gotten yet. And these were moments that I was wanting more for Sam. I want more on Sam. I want more details. I want more of that conversational piece, because I think there's a lot of intriguing layers to Sam, and I feel like we got some of that in the first episode. The second episode started touching on that, and we haven't gotten it the last 2, and I'm hoping the next 2 really segue that in, because for me, this is more of a Sam show. I know it's called The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but for me, I was more excited to go into this for Sam's perspective than Bucky. Maybe I'm in the minority on that, and don't get me wrong, I'm happy that we're getting some stuff with Bucky, but definitely him being one of the more protagonist characters. I actually have a feeling that he might be leading the Avengers one day. We'll see how the show ends up panning out. But that conversation between him and Carly actually started making me kind of understand where Carly is coming from, understanding the blip and how that really much affected the world and affected the borders around the entire world. I think that was a really interesting concept to bring about, because even though I still still don't believe the Flag Smashers, and I'm still kind of just iffy on them entirely. I think Carly, I think the actress portraying her is doing a really good job, but I also think she in general is being really important for the story, and important for her in being that perspective of the people who actually benefited from the blip. And I think that is the element that is actually really interesting, to say the least, in there. But of course, John Walker comes in, busts through the door, they all start fighting, all sorts of things steam, and completely ruins everything. Then they go back to the base because they lost out, all that stupid stuff, because he's a freaking idiot. But in that whole entire thing, Zemo tries to shoot him, breaks all the super serum. John Walker knocks him out. She leaves. He hides a super serum, which we know from that point in time he's going to get it. I think a little bit earlier in the episode, when she pulled it out, I was like, you're going to give John Walker the super serum. All right, I see where this is going. Of course, moving in, though, of course, they have that nice fight scene with the Dora Milaje showing up, the Zemo escaping somewhere, which we knew he was going to do, and Bucky and Sam kind of just sitting back. And it was funny to see Bucky and how he was saying, I wouldn't have jumped in, just let them fight. I mean, they think they can take on the Dora Milaje. Come on, my friends. But of course, they end up stepping in to stop it all. They end up leaving because Zemo escaped, trying to go find him, and I'm wondering if they're going to come and play a bigger part. I really hope they do, because I think the Wakandans are really cool to have in the show. But again, 2 episodes left. Where are we going with that element? To say the least, let's just move forward from there. Of course, now they're kind of playing out, how are we going to do this? Carly's again having that intriguing concept. She calls Sam's sister and says, hey, you tell your brother where to go. Kind of make some threatening powers there. Of course, that pisses off Sam. Bucky's like, I'm going with you. And they go about there. One thing, though, I know I'm jumping around a bit. One thing I forgot to mention, though, that was funny, and I forgot, is when they knocked Bucky's arm off. Did anyone else think of like Buzz Lightyear in the first Toy Story film when his arm was missing? I just thought that was kind of funny. But anyways, they're suited up, they're up for battle, they're heading to Carly, they're having that conversation, and they're continuing that thing, and then they recognize, oh no, she wants to kill Captain America. That's what she wants to do. And Sharon tells him in his ear, hey, I have lock on John. And it's a race to get to Captain America, and as they're heading there, we find out that he took the super serum as he's knocking these super soldiers back, kicking their ass, and again, having some great action sequences in there. I think the action in this entire show has very much been feeling like the Winter Soldier, that gritty, dark, more hand-to-hand combat that I've really always been a fan of, especially in the MCU, and it's great in here as well. Of course, they get his friend Hoskins. Hoskins, man. And I would say this kind of became a predictable thing. Once they had him, I said, all right, he's going to die. Sadly enough, he's going to die, and that's exactly what happened. One of the super soldiers hit him really hard, hits the wall, bam, dead. And the determination in Walker's eyes right then and there, just done. He jumps out the window. I actually think I thought they were actually going to kill Carly off for a second, but then he sees the other guy and goes, I'm going to go kill him. Chases him down and kills him in front of every single person. And just like the title said, the whole world is watching. Everyone filmed that on social media. The world is now going to see that. And what are the ramifications about that? Of Captain America killing someone in broad daylight and blood splattered all over the shield. This is a moment that, in fact, will change not just his life forever, but the MCU's stance and in general the whole world's perspective on a Captain America, destroying Steve Rogers' legacy and very much just like that. And for me, I think that was one of the most impressive things that I have possibly seen yet in the MCU bringing about. This was something that I'm really interested to see how they tackle. Again, 2 episodes left. Where are they going with the story? How are they going to tie it up? At this point, I gotta be honest, I do think this show probably would have worked better as a movie. Instead of a 6-hour runtime. That's just my personal opinion. But this is interesting. The whole world is watching, guys, and we were watching along with them. So make sure to comment down below. Let me know your guys' thoughts. I feel a little bit different. Like, I'm not like that excited for this, but I want to be. And, I enjoy this. I really hope that the next 2 episodes kind of bring it all together and end the story in a nice manner and don't completely leave it up to debate. God, it's crazy that we're only 4 episodes in already. It's crazy, but bring on Loki. I'm ready for that show. But thank you guys again for clicking on this. It's the best. I cannot wait to hear your guys' thoughts on this episode. I think that's the most important thing is hearing your guys' thoughts. So make sure again to hit that like, subscribe, and comment down below. And of course, until next time, stay classy.